was dancing, practicing on the street. I was trying to dance with strangers in Australia, and I posted the video, and then it blew up to 2 million views.
What were you doing at 24 years old? Were you buying a home? You get for your 24th birthday present a home with a candle on it and a broken AC. I'm here today with Izaiah Dillion, who is active duty Air Force, and he bought a home using his VA home loan benefit just over a year ago.
Never met my dad. He left when I was about 3 years old. And as a young boy, when you get bored, you get into trouble. You start finding other things to do. And I went down a different path. I had a mentor tell me, he said, picture a week, 7 days. Monday through Friday, you're taking small 5 steps forward towards your goals. But on the weekends, you're drinking, you're not going to the gym, you're sleeping in late, you're taking 2 big back steps.
We're gonna talk about salsa dancing, and we're gonna talk about persevering and just making through adversity in your life to lead a life. Welcome to In Search of Excellence Island Style, powered by the Broker Mortgage Experts. This podcast highlights leaders raising the standard through consistent values-driven leadership, lived with aloha. Tell us a little bit about why you bought a home.
Since I was young, 16, 17 years old, I did a lot of research, and I felt that was a good way to start building wealth.
Okay. And so you reached out to me. You were living in Qatar, right?
So I was stationed in Turkey, but I was deployed in Qatar at the time that I reached out to you.
Man, so we're going to get back to the beginning. What was it like living in Turkey and then Qatar?
Turkey, it's a beautiful country, but the base that I was at, there's very small base. There's not a lot to do.
What's the name of that base?
Called
Incirlik?
Incirlik Air Base, yeah.
Yeah, I just stayed away from it.
And then, about towards the end of my tour out there, I got deployed to Qatar. And I was a few months out, and I knew that it was a good time to start reaching out for a realtor, loan officer, obviously. And then I knew that I wanted to buy a property pretty much as soon as I landed.
All right. So before buying a property, where'd you grow up?
Grew up in a city called Stockton, California.
Stockton, California. Is that like a big city?
It's a medium-sized city, about 300,000 people, but top 10, I looked it up not too long ago, top 10 most dangerous cities in the U.S.
They have a racetrack in Stockton. Yeah. I know that, but that's about it. I think I've driven through Stockton before, but never stopped.
Yeah, good. Yeah, just keep on going. Don't.
So big family growing up, your mom, dad. What was your childhood like?
So it was, never met my dad. He left when I was about 3 years old. It's always been me, my mom, and then my twin sister. And then later, my baby sister Nevaeh came around. So she's 14 now. So she
got a twin sister?
Twin sister.
Oh, man, what's she doing?
She's back in California.
Yeah? Stockton?
Oh, yeah, still in Stockton.
Yeah, just living large, huh?
Yeah, living life out there, California.
So you grew up in Stockton, pretty easy childhood. You stay out of trouble. You play sports. What'd you do?
I grew up playing basketball. And then, I definitely didn't stay out of trouble. I went to this small little school where you had to basically play a sport to go there. So it was a better school, but then I ended up moving to a regular high school, and that's when all the trouble started. I started hanging around other people, and as a young boy, when you get bored, you get into trouble. You start finding other things to do, and I went down a different path.
It happens to old boys too. So you got some trouble.
Yeah.
Now, was the military it's either jail or military, or what was the reason to join the Air Force?
The reason I wanted to join the Air Force was to get out of my city. But it's always something that I found interesting as well. I could bounce back and forth in between my story, but by the time I was 16, I was fighting 6 felonies and 3 misdemeanors. On all the paperwork, it tells you your maximum confinement for each charge, and it said 13 and a half years. And back then, I knew I wasn't going to get 13 and a half years, but I could have got anywhere. Something realistic could have been 4 years or 3 years, and we could go into the charges if you want to. But
yeah, sure. This is pretty amazing stuff, and I know a little bit about it already, but so you start hanging around with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
And so what were you? Shoplifting?
Yeah, I started off with stealing clothes and stuff. So I grew up real poor. Did not have a lot of money. It was just me, my mom, and so we didn't have a lot of money. Section 8, grew up rough. Living in the ghetto all the time. Downtown Stockton. That's the worst part of Stockton. But there's this quote that I ended up hearing that related to what I was doing. And it's anything that doesn't have an immediate consequence builds confidence. So I would steal little things and I wouldn't get caught. I'm like, oh, that was easy. So then build a little bit of confidence. Start stealing more clothes like Nike and Polo and nice little, me and my homeboy would go to school, and me and him both grew up poor, and we didn't really feel that bad about stealing because it was from big stores and it was never from people. We weren't robbing people on the street, so it kind of made us feel like it wasn't as bad. even though it's not reality. But yeah, we started stealing small stuff. Fast forward through, we ended up stealing from a store called Kohl's. You know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
So we ended up finding out there's ink tags on clothes that are more expensive. So if you steal it, the ink goes everywhere. And we're like, how do you get that ink tag off? And we're like, we look it up on YouTube, and it's a special kind of magnet. We're like, oh, okay. We're like, where's that magnet at? They got them at Home Depot. We went to Home Depot, stole it from there, stole the magnet, went to Kohl's and stole a bunch of clothes. And we were going to walk out like normal. They locked down the entire store. They were watching us on the cameras. We went to run, boom, crashed into the door because they had the doors locked. And that was like the first time I got caught. And they were like, you guys almost stole $500. We're not going to call the cops. We'll let you call your mom. If she comes and gets you, then you're good. So my mom came and got us. And that was the first time I got caught. No felonies, no arrests, nothing. But it wasn't enough of a shock or a scare to stop me. So it still ended up going. Fast forward, maybe 8 months later. So I don't know the timeline. But long story short, me and my homeboy, this was like broad daylight. We basically were planning on robbing someone's house. So went down the street. It was like, we were 15 at the time. And it was just the dumbest. We didn't even do any thinking. We still had all this confidence. We're like, if anything happens, we're just going to run. No one's going to catch us.
Let's just call our mom.
Yeah, we're just going to call our mom. My mom got me. And basically, we went down the street to different houses. We knocked on the door. And we're like, oh, is our friend Bob here? Like, random name. We're just making this up. I'm like, nah, no Bob lives here. Nah. Go to the next house. Go to the next house. Every time someone answers, we're like, oh, wrong house. We get to one house. We knock on the door. No one answers. We knock on the door again, no one answers. And the way that the house was set up, like you could peek into the garage and you can see if there's a car. There's no car there. So we assume no one's in the house. Like, let's go around. It's broad daylight. It's 4 p.m. It's after school. So we go around, we creep around to the side. We open up the gate and now we're in their side yard. Heart is pounding at this. I'm like, it's getting real. We're literally in their yard. So we go around the side and I was with my homeboy. I won't say his name, but we'll call my homeboy Bob. We'll call him Bob. He goes and there's a golf club in the back. Like all the sliding doors are locked, all the windows are locked. He grabs his golf club, bam, smashes the window. Could you imagine how loud that would be? At any time, let alone broad daylight. You smash a window, We like clear out the bottom so we don't cut ourselves with the glass. We jump in, running around the house trying to find stuff. Didn't find anything. It was a crazy house, like disgusting, by the way. But anyways, we're running around. Somebody, boom, starts knocking on the door. We run back out, jump, hop a couple fences, 3-4 fences. We're running down the street. Cop car comes screeching around the corner, like literally, skirt, boom, jumps out. We've already jumped 4 fences, ran down the street. I'm like scared, tired, running down the street. Me and my boy were running. He goes left, I go right, and there's 2 cops. And both chase after me. I get tackled on the ground and just caught my first 3 felonies. Burglary, conspiracy to commit a felony, something else. But yeah, just caught my first 3 felonies.
Wow, we're going to get back to that. Yeah. So why Air Force? How were your grades in school, actually?
At that point, my grades weren't good at that point. So it took a little bit of time for me to kind of get my act together. And I wanted to join the Air Force because everything I knew about it, I just liked the discipline. I liked the idea of being held accountable to be in shape. I never grew up working out or anything like that. Everyone I knew was out of shape, and I felt like it would just be a healthier lifestyle.
Yep, their uniforms ugly.
Got the same as the Army and the Space Force.
They're better than the Space Force, I'll give you that. But all right, so you joined the Air Force.
Joined the Air Force.
And where's boot camp in the Air Force?
Lackland Air Force Base, Texas.
Texas. Now, how long is boot camp in the Air Force?
7 weeks.
7 weeks. Now, did your mom go to your graduation at boot camp?
No, it was during COVID. No one.
Oh, so you went through COVID.
Just a camera.
Just a camera. Yeah. Send a picture on the mom. Here you go.
Facebook Live. Yeah.
Facebook Live. Okay. All right. God, I remember those. Actually, one of my Boy Scouts, he went to boot camp, Navy boot camp, and it was during COVID, and it was that's some strange stuff. That was a just almost like a nightmare time period. So you get out of boot camp, what, 2020, 2021?
2021.
2021. You're 20 years old.
I was around there.
Okay, and what's your first duty station?
Tokyo.
Yeah. Tokyo?
Went to Tokyo.
You went to Japan.
Yeah.
You didn't get married?
Nah, I didn't get married. Nah.
Yeah, it's funny. This same Boy Scout, he's a E5 in the Navy out in Virginia Beach, and he wants to go to Japan or Korea for his next duty station. So that's what he's shooting for. So we'll see. So you're in Tokyo. Where are you at? Yokota Air Force Base?
Yeah, Yokota. Yep.
Okay. All right. Been there a couple times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best base.
Loved living in Japan. I lived there for 3 years. Yeah. I say that I was stationed there. My ship, I had 2 ships there,
Yeah.
but we were gone this was right after 9/11. So we were deploying left. We were gone all the time. So my family lived there. I visited, but we had loved it there. People were so nice. Food is different. It's not bad. It's not great, but it was fun, and did a lot of traveling there. What was your favorite part about living in Japan?
One of the biggest shocks was like, I grew up in California. I think California is definitely one of the most diverse states.
Yeah.
Going to Tokyo, it's 90% Japanese people. There's not just a bunch of different ethnicities. In high school, I went to every ethnicity. I could think of Laos, Cambodian, Indian, Mexican.
That's
black,
what
white,
makes Cal. I grew up in San Jose. Dude, we're a melting pot. I hear you. Yeah. Yeah, you go to Japan and you're like, everybody's Japanese here.
Yeah, that was a big shock to me. I was like, this is different.
Yeah, my oldest daughter's blonde, and we would go on trains, and the Japanese people, not just women, they would go up and touch her hair because when she modeled out there, you're not like us. That's old Japanese culture there, and now actually their population is they don't have enough people. They actually want people to start coming in now. They're trying to assimilate more foreigners into Japan because they just don't have enough people, which is crazy. Because I remember after 9/11, we had security guards all around, but if you're a terrorist, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb out there. It was relatively safe overall.
Yeah.
All right, so now what do you do in the Air Force?
I'm a career field is called air transportation. So it's a big career field, which is made up of 7, 9, 12 jobs. Like it depends on how you look at it, but you could get a bunch of different special sections and assignments. But in Tokyo, I was a parachute rigger. So I was packing parachutes, putting it on planes, and then pushing out the back of planes. Okay. That's what I was doing in Tokyo. What I do now is called special handling. So moving bombs, bodies, and bullets, beans.
Yeah, okay. Coming from, this is for people who might think about joining the military. Maybe they don't have the best upbringing or Stockton or something like that. What do you take from growing up in that environment what do you think helped you to not only survive boot camp, but really to excel and thrive in the Air Force?
You just take things, if you come from a city like me, like you don't take things for granted. Simple things like the DFAC, the dining facility, people take that for granted all the time. Like, oh, it's nasty food. It was the best food I had growing up my entire life, genuinely. Like, I love the dining facility. So when you come from something like that, and then you go to a dorm, I lived in a garage for 6.5 years. A 2-car garage, I lived in 1/3 of that garage. You talk about a hot summer and a cold winter. Like when I I loved my dorm. Every dorm I went to, I made it my home. Coming from a place like that and then going into the military, it's easy. To this day, I thank God every day. So
3 hots and a cot, right?
Yeah, it's a blessing. I don't know. The dining facility, the dorms, the barracks, whatever you call it, way better from where I was growing up, how I lived.
Hey, you hear a lot of people complain about that, but really, you got a point. Food's as good as good as you got in a lot of other places, and you get it and you got a place to sleep, and now you get stationed in Hawaii. But before you get out here again, you were TAD in Qatar, and you reach out. I can't remember how I connected with you. If I connected with you first or your realtor connected. I remember you reached out, and was it Veteran PCS? Was that?
I found Erica first, and then I think I found you after.
Yeah. And you wanted to interview me, which I was insulted. No, I'm kidding. I'm like, let's do it. But we did that. We did Google Meet. I think it was Google Meet or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're asking some great questions. I'm like, I think he went on ChatGPT was picking these questions up. But just getting to know, and really, I think what we figured out first was what your budget was, and you were very committed to staying right near your. And so I was impressed with that. Your sights weren't set. And this is before obviously I knew about you, but you were this home ain't your forever home. You're 23 years old at the time. What made you decide ultimately to buy a home in Hawaii?
I knew that I just knew why would I spend my BH money anywhere else, like paying for someone else's mortgage? I just pay my own mortgage, build some equity, sell it. Worst case scenario, sell it after 3 years, or best case scenario, keep it 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and then make passive income. So.
Yeah, and you got a great location.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember you had no cash out of pocket.
Yeah, I literally moved in, what was it? What's it called, escrow or something? Like one of the only mandatory fees you have to pay.
Oh, you paid for your home inspection and you put your earnest money deposit.
Yeah, like
But you got that back.
yeah, like that was it.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It worked out perfect.
Yeah. And I tell you, what's it like being a homeowner?
That feels good. I'm telling you, I genuinely thank God every day. Genuinely, I'm extremely blessed. Grew up in a garage for 6 years. So.
Yeah. And I tell you, I think the first thing you did was change that AC, because I remember listening to, we were on the phone and I could hear this loud ass AC in the background. I'm like, dude, what is going on?
Yeah, I think the compressor was going out or something.
And you posted a lot of videos of just the little changes you made to that place to make it your home. And it's just so impressive, Isaiah, seriously. And this gets me into your Instagram and your social life. You're 24 years old. Think, what were you doing at 24 besides not buying a home? You were out partying. I know. Well, you are out.
Oh, yeah.
But I was out. I had a kid, but I was still partying. And I wasn't saving any money. And I was drinking a lot and just wasn't being very responsible. And thankfully, we didn't have Instagram or any of that shit. But you're out and... Man, I love seeing what you're doing. So tell me about, all right, one of the first things that impresses me is you don't drink.
Correct.
So what made you decide not to drink? And I find this with a lot of younger adults. My son doesn't really drink. So what was your decision? Why did you decide not to drink?
So even from a young age, when I was 16, 17, even when I was getting in trouble, I still had goals. I was still goal-oriented. And I had a mentor tell me, he said, basically, like picture a week, 7 days. He said, Monday through Friday, you're taking small 5 steps forward towards your goals. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. He was like, but on the weekends, you're drinking, you're not going to the gym, you're sleeping in late. You're taking 2 big back steps. So you're taking 5 little steps. You're not going to make a bunch of progress, even if you're doing everything right. But then you're taking 2 giant back steps and 5 little steps and then 2 big back steps. I'm like, damn. It just made sense to me. It just clicked. And I was like, I'm just going to stop doing it. He was like, there's nothing that you're going to add to your life right now that's just drastically going to change it. He was like, you need to stop doing all the things that are holding you back. If you're running and you got a parachute on your back, don't try to just run faster. Take the parachute off and then start running. And it just made sense to me. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop doing all these things. And then, yeah, it just made sense. And now fast forward, I didn't plan on not drinking this long, but it's been over 2 years. I haven't had a sip of alcohol. I'm not like, oh, on a special occasion. I just don't drink at all.
Yeah, that's like impressive. I have some friends who've done that. And, how do people accept that? You go out with your bros, they're like, all right, hey, Isaiah's gone, we got a DD. How are your friends accepting? Do they is there a lot of peer pressure now? Especially in the military, because I think of the military, we tend to glamorize alcohol. Right or wrong, it's just, hey, you always hear about the drunken sailor, you know, but which is not true. And not now anyway. But so kind of how is that kind of impact? Obviously, you're strong-willed, but how do you deal with that?
I'm already pretty social, outgoing. I like to dance, have a good time. So people assume that I drink when they see me out because it's just how I vibe and interact with everyone. But when they find out that I don't drink, the first thing everyone thinks is that I got a DUI. And like, oh, what happened? Oh, you got a DUI? I'm like, no, I just don't drink. And they're like, oh, I don't know. They just assume something happened, like something bad happened. And I'm like, nah, I just don't drink, just like a discipline thing.
It's a straight-up decision.
But there'd be a special... You know who tries to get me to drink the most is girls. They want to have that, I don't know, control. They're like, come on, just have a drink. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't know. Those are the people that try to get me to drink the most. My homeboys, they're like, nah, they already know I'm not going to drink.
Yeah.
But special occasions, people that I know, they're like, oh, come on, it's birthday. I'm like, I'll cheers a glass of water with you. I'm not going to have a drink, though. I'm good.
And I've seen some of the videos of you out there dancing. Yeah. And let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Salsa dance. You were salsa dancing in Australia, weren't you?
Yeah.
So how'd you get into salsa dancing and why? I've seen you do it all over the world. Is that one of your goals? What is your goal with salsa dancing? Seriously, salsa on every continent?
So I've always wanted to know how to dance. I'm black and Mexican, and I had no rhythm. I'm like, oh. And I tried to do dancing in Japan. They got a big salsa dance community out there, but it was too far away, the studio. It was literally like an hour away, so it just wasn't realistic. I got out here, and I go to a dance studio called Paradise Latin Dance. Mike and Rico, my instructors, dope dudes. And they just, for one, I connected with them, I vibed with them, and I wanted to learn. I started taking classes, and then pretty soon after that, I went to Australia. I was like 1 or 2 months into dancing salsa, and I was like, I need to practice. You got to keep practicing. So I was practicing on the street, and then I just put my phone up, I'm dancing, moving, and then I'm like, I just asked girls to dance. As they're walking past, I was trying to dance with strangers in Australia. And I posted the video. I wasn't even going to post it.
Yeah.
And then it blew up to 2 million views. It was like a crazy experience. I remember the next day I woke up, it was at like 500,000. I was like, what the heck? Just dancing in Australia, trying to find a stranger to dance with in Australia. And then I'm walking down the street. People are blowing my phone up. Girls from all over. The video didn't only go through Australia. It went to Brazil and like all these other communities. And I was walking down the street the next day, and this girl, she's probably on the 25th floor or something of this building. And she's recording me. She was like, oh my God, is this you from the Salsa video? She's recording me and she sent me the video. I was like, what the heck? And I go into the shoe store, like shopping around. The security guard, he's like, bro, I seen you on TikTok. I was like, what the heck? It was just crazy. Like the video blew up, and yeah, I've kind of been dancing with strangers around these different countries, Australia and then Belgium and all these other spots. But yeah.
That's awesome. So kind of going back real quick, and we're going to take a break after this, but you know, you told me this actually the day we signed for your home. I'm driving you back. You were staying on Makalapa. And I asked you if you were the first in your family to own a home.
Oh, yeah.
And what was that answer?
Yeah, first one.
Yeah. What's your mom say about that?
My mom is proud.
Yeah, she should be. She raised a fine young man.
Yeah.
And you had your sister come out and stay, right?
Yep. Yeah, I flew my little sister out. Yeah.
And what about your twin sister?
She hasn't been out here yet.
You need to get out here.
Yeah, I'm not going to get out
here. Come on. All right. No, that's awesome. We're going to take a break on that. We'll come back. But first, a little word from one of our sponsors.
This episode of In Search of Excellence Island Style is powered by the Broker Mortgage Experts. If you're building wealth, creating stability, or planning your next real estate move, you need strategy, not just rates. The Broker Mortgage Experts are committed to helping families and investors build strong financial foundations through expert guidance and personalized mortgage solutions. Excellence starts with the right foundation. Connect with the Broker Mortgage Experts today.
We are back, and we're talking about how much time Isaiah has off in the Air Force. I was thinking maybe you'll get a 4-day week, and we're heading into Memorial Day weekend as we record this. And I used to try and give my guys a 4-day weekend thinking, I'm a good leader.
Oh, yeah.
Isaiah, I haven't been to work since May 2nd when I got back. Come on. And it's not even leave.
Yeah.
I tell you, we were talking about, you got 58 days, use it or lose it. Now, at 60 at the end of the fiscal year, you lose anything over 60 days, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So I did have one leader, one of my COs. I can't remember his name now. Kelly. That's right, Captain Kelly. He was giving me, going over my fit rep, and he was talking about anybody who loses leave deserves a D in judgment, because that's just free money you're giving away and it's time you earned off. So yeah, make sure you use it.
Yeah, no,
although I'm a little less sympathetic to you now. That's for sure. So we're back. I'm back with Izaiah Dillion. You bought a home at 24. What were some of the fears that you had with buying a home so young?
Actually, the fear that kicked in was the first night I slept there. I was like, I don't know what it was, but I'm sitting there and I remember laying in my bed in my little air mattress. You got to get air mattress when you first move in somewhere. You're not going to have everything ready. And I'm laying there, and I was like, oh, my God. I'm like, I have this payment I got to make every month. I'm like, I don't know. It just hit me. I'm like, I've never had an expense this big. The biggest expense was I never even made payments on a car. I always bought them outright. So the biggest expense was like my phone bill. Now I'm paying thousands. I'm like, I got to stay locked in now. Life is getting real. Yeah, that was the first fear I felt. I was like, oh, my God, I really have to make this payment.
And how is that? How is that fear kind of either dissipated or changed over time?
It went away now just because I knew, even before that, I knew I had my money lined up and everything. I had my expenses understood.
So you had a budget.
Yeah, I had a budget for sure, yeah.
So now, looking back, were there any instances where you thought, I'm backing out, I'm not going to buy?
Nah, I never thought I was going to back out, but I never thought I was going to back out.
Your home also appraised over value too, didn't it? It's $20,000 over purchase price. So you have instant equity above what you paid, and you didn't pay anything. You paid $700 for a home inspection, if that.
Yeah.
So what are some of you bought one home.
Correct.
That doesn't make you an expert.
Oh, yeah.
I know it didn't make me an expert. My second home, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But what are some of the things that you learned about your VA home loan benefit?
Some of the things I learned about my VA home loan benefit. One, I didn't know I could get approved for that much. I didn't know I could get approved that much. And I really didn't realize it would be that simple. It wasn't a difficult process. That's in part because of you and because of Erica, but it was just signing papers and all right, let's go.
You were approved actually for a lot more than what you bought. I think you were approved for almost twice as much as what you ended up buying, which I talk about when I pre-approve folks. It's not what you're pre-approved for, but it's what's your budget? What's the budget that you can afford on that mortgage payment and not be house poor? And your BAH, we call it buy a house, right? That buy a house money. Yeah. That's, you're going to use it. You live in base housing, you pay rent. And some people say, oh, I'm going to save the difference because my rent's so low. You're not saving the difference, all right? You're spending the difference. Yeah. And it's funny, I did this podcast and one of the gentlemen was talking about the interest rate on rent is 100%. I'm like, damn, which makes 6% seem like a pretty low rate. And you got lower than that, though. Yeah. You're what, low fives or high fours? You're one of the two, right?
Yeah, high fives. Yeah.
I think you're low fives because we were able to get that rate down. We were able to do that whole buy down and pay the closing costs. You made out there. Yeah. So kind of what is kind of next? How many more years do you have on island?
So July will be my 1 year, and then I have 3 total. So yeah,
3 total on island. And so you've
been in 5 years.
What's your plan? Are you going to stick around? You're gonna go 20. You're gonna.
It's an option, but I've seen life change so quick. So I think far, but I don't plan that strict because something could change today that would just change the direction. So
you're young too.
This podcast could blow up. I get another video that gets a couple million. Someone reach it. Life changes quick.
But you're doing some other stuff too, though. And this is kind of what's impressed me because I've seen some of your Instagram reels and whatnot. Yeah. You're also kind of moving into that personal trainer realm. So tell me a little bit about that. And kind of what is your method of training? Is there something that you are using, or is there a certification you have, or kind of how does that work?
Yeah, so on Instagram, I'm a fitness coach. I teach people how to get fit, sober, and disciplined, and that's where my sobriety kind of started. So obviously, I can't teach someone to do something that I'm not doing myself. That wouldn't make any sense, and it just made sense for me to go sober. And then it just started fixing all these other areas in my life. And then I had a mentor saying that teach people the things that you're doing. Like the things that you're doing would change other people's lives drastically. That made sense. And I got on social media, started teaching people how to get fit, sober, and disciplined. So that's what I do on social media.
Do you have a coaching name or like fit, sober, discipline?
My Instagram is my name, Izaiah Dillion. So.
Okay. All right. And so what's your daily routine like?
I get up, I read.
What do you read?
I read personal development. I don't ever read fiction or anything. I always read personal development books. Top 3 favorite is How to Win Friends, Influence People, Think and Grow Rich, The Way of a Superior Man, things like that. I like those kind of books. So things that I can apply that will show actual results throughout my life.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah. I try and read other books, but it's just, I do want to read the Outlander series. It's a show on Stars. But okay, so where were we? So your daily routine, you get up, now you read. Yeah. What do you do to work out? Because you're in good shape.
I do push-pull legs, but what I always recommend to my clients is, like, there's so many people that are confused on how to get in good shape, and they think that you have to work out 2 hours a day and that you have to eat lettuce and salads. That's the worst way to go about it. If you work out 3 to 4 times a week and you track your macronutrients and you know what you're actually consuming, I could get someone to lose weight faster without going to the gym and tracking their macros versus the other way around. Going to the gym, going on the Stairmaster for an hour. No, it's just.
How about chair Tai Chi? You're doing a chair. Have you seen the chair Tai Chi?
I don't know what that
because
is.
You're not an old person like me. That's all I see. I see these AI Asian dudes talking with these 6-pack, 8-pack abs talking about, if you want to stay healthy, you got to do chair Tai Chi.
Yeah, never heard of that.
Oh, yeah, that's because you're about 50 years younger than me. That's funny. You never see chair Tai Chi?
No.
Oh, man. It's not like I'm searching it out. It just knows. It just knows. All right. So I see you do a lot of push-ups. I see you do push-ups on your balcony. And do you have a pull-up bar too in there? Or?
Nah, not in my spot. I use rings or something. I'll hang on a tree out here.
So you do the workouts in your home, and you got an incredible view of Pearl Harbor, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I got the best spot.
Dude, I got the best spot. You get sunrise, don't you?
Sunrise,
You get sunrise and sunset.
I got the best spot on the island.
Under $350. I think you were like $329 or something. It was pretty low priced.
Oh, my spot?
Yeah. It was. Wait, that's right. Actually, you got a lot of equity in that place, man. You made up. Erica, you did a great job. Erica Lemkuhl,
Yeah.
Seaside Realty. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're going to stay on your daily routine. So when you are working the 2 or 3 days a month, what time do you typically get to work?
So I work 6 to 6.
6 to 6. All right. So you're 12 on, 12 off.
Yeah.
And do you work typically when you are working 5 days a week?
4 days.
4 days a week.
Yeah.
And then you get 3 days. So it's four on, 3 off.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
4 and 3 12s.
Oh man, join the wrong service.
Got to join the Air Force.
I got to join the Air Force. Have you ever seen on Instagram Sergeant Knucklehead?
I haven't.
Oh man, he's funny. He actually imitates all the different services and different things, just whatever it is.
Yeah, like
talking to your
stereotypes.
son, having your cup of coffee. Yeah, total stereo. He's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
You got to watch him. He's a pretty funny guy. I don't know where he's stationed. I should probably do some research on him. But all right, so daily routine. So 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. You're working. What do you do when you get off work? What's the unwind?
So I take care of everything before work. I like to, even people that say, oh, I'm not a morning person, you're going to have the most amount of energy in the morning. After 12 hours of work,
You're toast.
it just doesn't make sense
Yeah.
that you would have more energy.
Yeah.
Maybe it takes a little bit for you to get started, but if you start up, put some water in your face, cold shower, whatever, you start going. So I start everything beginning of work. By the time I get off, just shower and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Working out, tracking macros.
Growing up, were you an early kind of riser? Or, you know?
We weren't doing nothing. We were waking up at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., like super late.
I hated waking up early when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then once I got into high school, I kind of did because I'd have sports or school start. I was usually in early classes. But even so, like working out, as when I was in the Navy, I would try and work out after work. It just never worked out. Then I started getting up at 4 a.m. I was training for a marathon. And once I stopped training for the marathon, I'm like, I'm still getting up at 4 a.m. because I'm getting everything done. My work day is good. And I just knew, especially with my job, there's never a guarantee you're going to get off on time.
Yeah.
There is no on time in the jobs I had. You were like working until you passed out, basically. Because I remember my wife would never come to the ship, ever. Because every time she did, she gets stuck waiting for me because something broke.
Yeah.
And I'd have to go get it fixed. I'd write a casualty report or whatever. And so, yeah, once the day starts, it's not your day. It's owned by Uncle Sam.
Oh, yeah.
So let's go back to coaching. Do you think this is something that you might want to get into full time? You could do that while you're active duty, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. Outside of the Air Force, I'm a fitness coach.
Okay.
I do it on social media, and you really have no gap when it comes to social media.
So how do you train people? Say if some kid in Nebraska sees you and says, "Man, Isaiah, I want you to train me." How do you train somebody in Nebraska?
Yeah, it's a lot of people think, oh, I need a trainer in person. That if I was to train someone in person, I would just be a crutch to them because then they would rely on me to go to the gym with them every single time. And I can teach someone how to do simple workouts just through a video. So I have 2 apps that I use. I use a diet app, and then I have a training app. So in the training app, I have everything laid out, their complete workout from the sets, the reps, the rest in between, and every single workout laid out throughout the week for the month, all the way planned out. And then on their diet app, we track their macronutrients. So that way there's no guesswork. There's no hoping that I lose a little bit of belly fat or hoping that I lose weight. And then knowing the difference between losing weight and losing fat, people get those 2 confused.
So what's the diet app you use?
MyFitnessPal.
MyFitness. Okay. I might even have that somewhere on my phone, in the cloud somewhere. What about your fitness app?
Yeah, it's an app called Trainerize. So
Trainerize.
once you sign up with me, I make an account for you, and then we
Okay.
start setting everything up.
Okay. Awesome.
But the biggest thing, too, everybody's, oh, well, why would I get a coach when I can just chat GPT? Well, the issue isn't, it's not a knowledge thing. It's an application. People aren't applying the knowledge that they have. And that's having a coach, I get you to apply the knowledge that you're being taught because the knowledge has been out there forever. Back in the 80s, they were making books about everything. You could have been doing it from day one.
People, it's not like six-pack abs, it's not like being in shape just became a thing.
Yeah.
It's just, I won't say it's easier now, but all the books are right in front of you. They're right on your computer, right? And you can chat GPT all you want, but chat GPT isn't going to hold you accountable like a coach can.
Yeah.
And I think I would imagine you're doing that pretty well with that client in Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How do you hold that client in Nebraska accountable?
Yeah, so I have clients in North Carolina, literally, clients in the other bases that I've been at around the world. So for one, I lay out their program, and then we get on a Zoom call once a week. So we're just going over everything, their entire plan, literally the weights that they're putting in weekly, their progress pictures. Once you start to apply, people think that they get motivation that, I just don't have motivation. You don't have motivation because you don't have any results. So once you start applying the plan that we have laid out, you're going to start to see a little bit of results. And as soon as you get on the scale and you're like, damn, I lost 2 pounds this week, now motivation comes. But motivation isn't just front hand delivered. It's on the back end.
Yeah. The health app. I've always had a hard time. I don't eat terribly, but just measuring what I'm eating. I wish, could I go on an app? Not that I'm going to go to Sonic, but they just opened a Sonic right around the corner. There's a line is down the street to get there. But if I get the tater tots and the Texas toast cheeseburger, I could put that in the app.
Yeah, 100%.
Take a picture of it, and it'll say, yep, you're a fat ass, and here's 1,400 calories, because I'm gonna get a shake. Because how can you not at Sonic?
Yeah. Ideally, you're gonna stay away from that, just because there's gonna be so much fat in that food, and it's not even gonna fill you up. It's gonna make you more hungry. I could go into that all day, but anytime I do eat out, if you go to Sonic, you go to Chipotle, you go to any of these places, they have the macronutrients on their website, or literally up on the menu.
They have the calories.
Yeah.
So is that the macronutrient?
Macros added up is what makes calories.
Okay.
And then a lot of people try to go the shortcut way. I'm just going to track calories. If you track calories, you're going to lose weight. If you calories determines your weight, tracking macros determines how you look.
Okay.
It's a big difference.
Big difference.
A massive difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference between losing weight and losing fat. People want to lose fat. They don't want to just lose just weight. So losing weight could be water, could be muscle. You don't want to lose weight. You want to lose fat.
I need to start tracking macros.
Yeah.
All right. So how many clients you got right now?
I've got about 4 or 5 clients. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And if somebody wants to be your client, would just hit you up on IG?
Literally just hit me up on Instagram,
yeah.
Hit me up on Instagram. I'm making content about this all the time, and this is what I do.
He trains and he dances.
I train and I dance.
Dude, it's a tough life you're leading. So let's look back at 16-year-old Izaiah.
Yeah.
What would you tell that 16-year-old Izaiah with the knowledge of life that you have now? And it's only 8 years ago, but what would you tell that 16-year-old Izaiah?
Say, make regret your guideline. That's a quote that one of my mentors told me that stuck with me. Make regret your guideline. Okay. So just anything that you regret, just simply don't do it again. It's improbable to consistently make good decisions that don't lead to a good life. It's just improbable. So if you consistently make small good decisions, you're going to live a good life. And if you keep making the same mistake, it's okay to make mistakes, but it's not okay to continue to make the same mistakes.
And what are you going to do to make 16-year-old Izaiah listen?
What am I going to do? I'm going to...
What would you do to make 16-year-old Izaiah?
If I was giving my advice to myself, for one, I never had men that I looked up to. Like, the way that I've guided myself, I was never looking up to men that I wanted to be like. It was always men that I did not want to be like.
I think I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, I think, is the examples that I had of male mentors were how not to do things.
Exactly.
And speaking of regret, just never be like them.
Yeah.
That's good, but who do you want to be like? What do you want to be like? So who have been your mentor, your male mentors? You said mentors a couple times. So who have been your mentors?
It's mainly been people online. Like, some people view online, like, oh, it's just Instagram, just social media. It can be if you view it that way, or it can be realizing that these are real people that have real lives. And so it's mainly in person to be my grandpa. But outside of that, someone named Patrick Bet David.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I've watched him since I was 16 years old. It came to business and his mindset. I've watched him for a long time. So, yeah, he's one of the people. But
no, he's great. I listen to his podcast just about every day. My wife even listens to him now. It's funny. Every time we drive, I put it on. And now I'll come in from working out, and she's getting ready to work out, and I'll hear her playing the PBD podcast. Yeah. She's brushing her teeth listening to it. I'm like, I've got her trained.
got it.
So, all right. So, online mentors. I don't disagree with you at all. There's a lot of great people who are leading incredible lives and setting examples and just not philosophizing, but they're coaching through whatever it is they're doing, whichever platform that is. Who's another mentor?
None that I would shout out specifically, but you just see people say, even if it came to dancing, there's people that I would like as dancers, and I would just follow and listen to what they say. Like, if there's someone that's doing something that you like and they have the results that you have, just listen to what they have to say. Just listen and apply it.
Yeah. It's like that saying, birds of a feather flock together. Yeah. Why? Because they're flying in the same direction. You want to get with those birds who are flying in the direction where you want to go.
100%.
For sure. All right. So 16-year-old Isaiah. Now we got 24-year-old Isaiah. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Buying another property.
Buying another property. I like that. You have a lot of eligibility left.
Oh, yeah.
You do. Whether you're buying here or you're buying in your next duty station. What duty station are you thinking about next?
I'm hoping to extend out here. I want to stay out here. This is the best place on earth.
Isn't it pretty nice?
Yeah.
Why do you like Hawaii?
The weather, obviously the weather, but I love being able to hike, go to the beach, be social. I love being social. I love people. You can always be around people.
And this is from a melting pot aspect.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good melting pot out here.
Yeah.
And people are nice out here.
It's good
The
people.
only reason they're not nice is if you're a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way. If you're a jerk,
Yeah.
you get jerked back. Yeah. And I think people are, there's ohana, it's not just a word out here. People generally are accepting of you if you treat them like family.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. And again, up in San Jose and in Stockton, yeah, it's just, you got a little bit of everything here.
Yeah.
Not a lot of good Mexican food out here, though.
I know. Yeah, I agree.
We need
to get some taco trucks out here.
I know,
Some real
man.
California style taco trucks.
What are the macros on that? Was it burrito tacos? What are the macros on that?
When you track consistently throughout the week, there's room for having what you want.
So a lot of people, when they buy a home, they're worried about being house poor. I talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
So how do you not become house poor? You're not house poor. You're doing a lot. Air Force treating you well.
Yeah.
You get to see the world, dude.
the world.
How many people from Stockton, California, been to Australia and Belgium and Japan and Turkey?
Before I left, I'd never even been on a plane. I never left the state. I never went anywhere. Now I have a goal of 30 countries by 30.
30 by 30.
I'm at
That's
28
incredible.
countries right now.
So you were just in Germany, right?
I was in Germany.
So what'd you do in Germany? I saw some pictures.
Yeah.
And remember, I asked, hey, man, can you be on the podcast? And you're like, I'm kind of deployed. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can't really tell you. And then I see a picture of you in some
Like a White Castle or
European
something.
town. I'm like, all right, good for you. Because I was like, everything going on right now, I'm like, he could be in Middle East or something. But you were in Germany. So where did you travel in Germany?
So I went to 6 countries. I went to Luxembourg, Belgium, Netherlands, Switzerland, Austria, and a country I've never heard about called Liechtenstein. Have you heard of it?
Is it Liechtenstein?
Yeah, still, it's like the 6th smallest country in the world. I found it on accident. I was on the map. I was in Switzerland at the time, and I was like, I seen how close I was to Austria, and then it's tiny. It's like 11,000 people in this country. But yeah, I ended up driving through there. You go there, you take a picture, and you leave. But still, it's one of the countries I've been to.
So what's your favorite country in Europe?
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Now, why is that?
Because of the mountains. It's ridiculous out there. I had no understanding of geography, like when I lived in Stockton at all. The U.S.
You never
Canada,
left
Mexico,
California.
So yeah, Switzerland is beautiful. It's crazy.
Never been there.
Yeah.
Never been there. I'm going to northern Italy this summer.
Italy's your spot.
Yeah, I like Italy. It's nice. And my wife loves it too. Yeah. But she wants to go see the rest of Europe. That was one of the things that we traveled a lot, but most of our travel was Southeast Asia. And she always busted my chops because I never took her to Europe. I'm like, you got a lot of jewelry from the Middle East. She just doesn't count. All right. So we're going to go into some tactical takeaways for listeners here. So I'm going to ask you some questions and just kind of give me your quick answer here. Yeah. So what are 3 things any young adult can do in the military to buy a home?
Use your VA loan. Find someone that's done it before and do some research before you communicate to anybody. Don't waste no time.
Yeah, use ChatGPT, right? I mean, out there, but you do need, people say, oh, ChatGPT is going to take the place. AI is going to take the place of realtors and lenders. No, it's not.
Yeah, not that way.
Because AI isn't buying homes yet. Yeah. You want somebody. But the hard part is there's so many lenders, there's so many realtors out there. It's just hard to figure out who's legit or not. Definitely do the research. So what is the first thing you should do when you go to a new duty station and you're single, trying to mingle? Just get out and about.
Go out and meet some people.
How do you do that? You're dancing with a stranger in freaking Australia.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I get that's not something that most people will do, but get a part of a community. If you join I'm already social, but being a part of Paradise Latin Dance and you're forced to meet all these people, and it's a beautiful thing. People are the best part of life. You have to go meet people. You have to enjoy people.
That is a beauty. Yeah. You don't want to. You don't ever, for me, I don't want to go through life alone.
Yeah.
I love having my wife out. I love taking her places. I like going with my kids.
Yeah.
I used to travel with my kids all the time. I still take my son. He just went to Bend, Oregon with me for a golf tournament. And it's funny. First year of college, he's like kind of struggling a little bit. And I'm like, Ty, why don't you just drop out? You can go to local college. And then you just travel with me. You just be my buddy. And he's, really? I'm like, no, you're going to go out on your own. But I like doing things with people. I like having other people enjoy life with me. You don't want to do it all alone. And you're really setting the example there. If somebody wants to learn a salsa dance in Hawaii, where do they go?
Paradise Latin Dance. Paradise Latin Dance.
All right, Paradise Latin Dance.
Yeah,
we should have them come in here and we could do some some salsa dances.
Hey, you might be able to make something happen with that.
Yeah. So now, what about country dance? Where do people go to country dance here?
Spot, which isn't too far from Paradise Latin Dance, is Whiskey Dicks. I've been there a few times.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool little dance spot.
Yeah, it's right above. What's it called? They used to have popcorn all the time. Hell, it'll come to me. But yeah, Whiskey Dicks. And then what else do you do on island? What else do you do on island to get out?
A lot of hikes, a lot of beaches, going out, spontaneous.
Have you tried surfing yet?
I don't know about surfing. It's just,
dude, sharks. You're fine.
I'm not worried about the sharks. Okay. It's just I'm not that interested because if you learn snowboarding, like you fall, you get back up. You fall, you get back up. Not with surfing. You fall, and then you got to wait for a wave, and you got to go swim back out. And then you fall, and then you got 10 more minutes until another good wave. I'm good.
Bro, it hurts a lot more falling on snow.
It's not about the pain, it's about the time, and I'm not willing to put the time in.
It'll give you strong shoulders, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the paddling.
Yeah.
I love surfing. I don't know if I'll ever snowboard again. Love snowboarding.
What?
But I don't know if I'll ever go snowboarding again. I just love surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. I just get out. I'm not cold. I just sit on the beach, catch some rays, enjoy the views. But yeah, no, never. I don't think I am. I think the last time I went snowboarding was like right before COVID, which is 6 years ago.
Back in the
and
day.
I might have gone one time since then, and I went for one day, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. I had a good time, but I'm like, I was sore. It's cold. I don't like being in the cold anymore. Yeah. You've been here for just over a year. What was it like in Germany?
Oh, it was freezing.
Yeah.
But compared to a lot of people, like, oh, this is good weather. Not to me. This is not good.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to close up here.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed, Izaiah, by everything you've done at such an early age. What would you say is the biggest adversity that you've overcome to get to where you're at today?
Getting out of my way. Just stop taking those 2 big back steps. Stop holding yourself back with all the goals that you have.
Yeah, that doesn't just pertain to drinking. That's your decisions. You make 4 or 5 good decisions, and you make 2 really bad decisions. Yeah. You're starting over again, whether it's work, relationships. Do that all the time with relationships, people, and then certainly fitness. Yeah, again, just so impressed by everything that you've done. You're 24 years old. I'm going to follow you, through your career. Probably have you back on here maybe once a year, just to at least, hey, how's things going?
Let's do it.
And I want to see if you kind of get that influencer career taken off. And wearing the uniform, salsa dancing across the globe. Taking the max, salsa flying in a C7, with a couple howitzers tied down. That'd be pretty cool. But it's been a pleasure having you on board. And again, so impressed, so excited for your future. And you know what? Let's kind of come back to that. People, a lot of young kids right now, they don't even qualify to join the service just because of physical, mental issues they got. They're not physically fit, they got drug issues. But you've been in the military for 5 years now. What do you say to that high school student who's just trying to figure things out about joining the military?
So if they're looking to join the military?
No, why should they join the military?
No, it just depends on your circumstances, but a lot of and everyone's experience is going to be different, but if you want to travel, if you want to get out of your city, like it's completely changed my life. I've been in 5 years and I've been to 28 countries. That's because of leave. That's because of where the Air Force has sent me, but you can max out your opportunities. There's people that have been in Tokyo with me that stayed on base and left to go see the new country a few times, like out of their entire tour. So it can change your life depending on what you make of it, really.
Yeah. I think seeing the world, I think it's, especially if you've never left, it's intimidating when you look at it from the micro, from the macro, man. It's enlightening going all over. And I hear you. Like I used to take, we ships would pull in the port. Everybody would want to go. Not everybody. A lot of guys are like, we're going to go to KFC or we're going to go to Pizza Hut. I'm like, dude, you could do that back on the mainland. You know? Why don't we go try some local food? So I'd take guys out to the local restaurant and just go eat the local food. It's healthier, but it's get out and see that wherever you're at. Yeah. The people who complain about being stationed overseas are the people who never leave the base. And then they go out and experience everything there is around where you're at. So seeing the world, I think, is another one thing. I think college. Were you ready for college?
Directly out of high school. No. I did not want to go to college.
How would you have paid for college?
Hopefully FAFSA.
FAFSA, yeah.
Hopefully that way.
You can't rely on financial aid for all the time. No. But one of the benefits you have of being in the military is you get this cool thing called a GI Bill.
GI Bill, tuition assistance.
Yeah, I mean, you can. Most people don't do anything that they get go to college for anyway. You got a lot of people who join the military who actually have college degrees and they couldn't get a job in whatever field they were in. You got this. Why not join? Make some money, get some incredible benefits, get the opportunity to get a free college education, really, because that's what that GI Bill. You can take classes while you're in, and when you're only going to work 2 days a month, it's pretty easy to do. Yeah, you go to college, and then you get that VA benefit too, right? Oh, yeah. Buy a home. But most people, again, I didn't live with homeowners. My mom grew up moving place to place. And what's it like to serve your country?
It's enjoyable. I love what I do. I have the best job. I'm out here inspecting cargo, moving cargo around the world. I'm seeing the greatest. We're putting planes inside of planes, aircraft inside it, putting helicopters inside of planes. It's crazy. You got the best jobs.
Awesome. Again, Izaiah, thank you so much for coming out today, and just excited to see everything that you're going to do in life. Proud to call you, honored to call you a friend. Absolutely. So you're not a client. You passed client way long ago, man. You're a friend, and can't wait to see this. Can't wait to see you out there getting 5 million views next time. Yeah. All right, man. Talk to you later. All right.
Thanks for tuning in to In Search of Excellence Island Style. Stay connected for more conversations with leaders raising the standard through purpose, values, and aloha.